This is Dr. Uche. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I am here to discuss with you today why I think you must write your biography. Before we go on, go ahead and hit subscribe. That way you'll know when I upload new videos. And let's dig right in. So, recently I was reading or listening to Will Smith's autobiography. And similar to perhaps Michelle Obama's autobiography, which is another one I read in detail, and several others. The first few chapters were literally spent discussing parents, grandparents, people who had a major impact in their lives. And this was really something to see, something we're not always very aware of. Do you know that you are a fundamental part of somebody else's life story? And that if your story is never told and documented, in future, somebody else is going to have a big gap in their life story. You may say, well, how does it impact me? Remember that somebody else is a family member and they descended from you. And it is important to see the different things, the different people that influence them. So the first thing here is that you are unique. You are unique to a certain number of people. You are unique to your children. You are unique to your nephews and nieces. They have no other auntie or uncle, whoever you are. They have no other mother or father. So you are unique to a certain number of people. So because of that, your story is a fundamental part of their story. And you not writing your story down means that a huge part of their story is actually lost. So that's the first reason I think you must write your biography. Second, your story is a roadmap for somebody out there. The challenges you went through, the ups and downs, the lessons you learned, all come together to form a roadmap for someone. So we all tend to downplay our achievements. We all tend to think we haven't done much. Who wants to read it? But in actual fact, there's somebody out there who's waiting to be inspired by your story. So this is why you must write it down. Somebody is waiting to be inspired by your story. Third, people who know you, people in your family, younger members of your family, actually learn context by knowing your story. Why do you behave in a certain way? Why is there a certain culture in the family? How did my family end up doing this and that? Why does my mother or father relate in such a way to this individual more than this? They learn context. It makes sense. Things you would otherwise have no way to teach. These all become life lessons. These are experiences. These are things that happened before. And this is why this is the way it is. So for especially younger family members to have context to certain aspects of family, they need your story. They need to have your story told. The other thing is, our world is shrinking. Our world is shrinking. You know, more and more, there's greater recognition of diversity, greater recognition of the importance of diverse stories. And your story, my friend, adds to the diversity of human stories. Where did you come from? Where did your parents come from? Are you born and bred in a place? Did you immigrate to another place? Did you flee a war zone? Did you flee some other challenge? How did you make ends meet? How did you break through certain hurdles? Your story adds to the wealth and diversity of human stories. So that's a fourth reason why you must tell your story. And finally, your story will be an enormous source of pride for your family members, the young people coming after you. I remember publishing my grandfather's autobiography, and my daughter, who is now a great granddaughter to this man, looking at this book, this man who died in 86 and my child born in 2011, who would otherwise have no way to have met this man, reading his words in his own writing. I remember the enormous pride I saw in her face. Your story is an enormous source of pride, will be to your family members and many, many others to come after you who may never have the privilege, who may never have the luxury of meeting you. So that wraps it up today from me. This is why I think you must, not maybe, but you must write your story. So to recap, you are unique to a certain number of people. And remember, your lessons, your wealth of life experiences will form a roadmap for somebody out there. Your family will learn context. Why do certain things happen in certain ways? Why did you behave in certain ways? Why does a family have a certain culture? They learn context from your story. Fourth, remember that your story adds a huge amount to the diversity of human stories. And finally, your story someday will be an enormous source of pride to your family members and those who come after you. This is Dr. Uche. I look forward to chatting with you again another time, but for today, I want you today to make a vow, to determine that your story matters, to tell yourself, my story matters and I will write it down. And that'll do it for today. I'll see you next time.